Hello, BCPS 5th grade students. Today we're going to focus on patterns and graphing order pairs, and this is from Grade 5 Bridges, Week 10. Our outcome from today is that students will develop an understanding of how to graph order pairs to discover patterns to solve real-world problems. You know, I usually tell you to get a piece of scrap paper, which I am going to tell you to do, but if you have any graph paper, that will make your life a little bit easier. But scrap paper will do also. Today's Think About It is a notice and wonder. What do you notice? What do you wonder about the coordinate plane? List all the things that you know about the coordinate system. List any questions you have about the coordinate system. To get us started, we're going to go over some vocabulary. Today we're going to focus on quadrant 1, which just means that we're going to focus on using positive numbers. And a coordinate plane is used to locate points in a plane using an order pair, like the given one here, 4, 3. And an order pair is a pair of numbers used to locate a point on a coordinate grid. We also have the origin. An origin is the point where the two axes of a coordinate grid intersect. It is represented by the order pair 0, 0. And you can see it's clearly labeled on the diagram to the left. Those two axes consist of the x-axis, which is a horizontal line that passes through the origin that includes both positive and negative numbers. Of course, I said we're going to focus on the positive today. And then we have the y-axis, which is a vertical line passing through the origin that includes both positive and negative numbers. And you can see it right here, the vertical axis for the y-axis. The first number in an order pair, which means the distance to the right or the left from the origin 0, 0 along the x-axis, is called the x-coordinate. You can see our x-coordinate right here. In the example, the x-coordinate, which is the distance from the origin, is 3 units. This indicates the first number of the order pair along the horizontal axis. So we would start at the origin and go 3 units to the right, since we are focusing on the quadrant 1. The second number in an order pair, which names the distance up or down from the origin, 0, 0, along the y-axis, is called the y-coordinate. And you can see our y-coordinate right here. The y-coordinate, the distance from the origin, is 4 units. This indicates the second number of the order pair along the vertical y-axis. Since we started at 0 before, because it's our origin, and did 3 jumps to the right, now we're going to go up. We don't start at the origin, we start where we left off from our x coordinate. So now we're going to go up 4, and then that will give us a point at this location. And this has an order pair 3, 4. Okay, let's try one more together. We're going to look first at point A, and we are going to write the order pair. Remember that first you must count the distance from the origin along the x-axis. So we're going to go ahead over, and then we're going to count the distance along the y-axis. So we went over 10 and up 6. So our x-coordinate would be 10 and our y-coordinate would be 6. Now for point B, they've given us the order pair and we are going to plot the point. So we are going to go along the x-axis 7 and then up 9 and plot a point right there. And that gives us point B with an order pair of 7, 9. You want to make sure that you don't switch the numbers of the order pair. When reading and or plotting points on a coordinate plane, you must begin with the X coordinate first and then go to the Y coordinate. So for point C, we're going to go over 4 and then go up 6 and plot a point there. And that gives us point C with an order pair 4, 6. Sometimes your teachers will ask you to connect them. Sometimes they may not. And we have a nice triangle when we connect those 3 points. Now we're going to look at patterns, and then eventually we're going to take those patterns and graph them as order pairs. We're going to look at the 3 arrangements here on the screen. We want to look and see what things are similar about the arrangements. Think to yourself, what's similar? Then think to yourself, what's different about them? We also want to look and be able to see the back of the arrangement just to make sure that we are comprehending the total amount of cubes that are in each arrangement. No matter what way you looked at the patterns, you were looking at the similarities and differences between each of them. Now we want to look at how many cubes were in each arrangement and then take that information to help us write ordered pairs. So let's look at arrangement number 1. Okay, there are how many cubes in arrangement number 1? That's right, there are 2 cubes. So the order pair, because this is arrangement number 1, will be 1, 2. Now let's look at arrangement number 2. Think to yourself, how many cubes are in arrangement number 2? Remember, you have a layer of 4, and then on the top layer you have 2. So you have 6 cubes in arrangement number 2, giving us a order pair of 2, 6. Arrangement number 3, we have 2 layers of 4 cubes and 1 layer of 2, giving us a total of 10 cubes, giving us an order pair of 3, 10. What would happen if there was arrangement number 4 and an arrangement number 5? Now you can start to see the similarities and the patterns. So arrangement number 1 had 2, arrangement number 2 had 6, arrangement number 3 had 10, which means arrangement number 4 would have 14 cubes, and arrangement number 5 would have 18. And we can write them as ordered pairs because this would be arrangement number 4, which had 14 cubes, and then arrangement number 5, which had 18 cubes. Now we're going to use our knowledge from lesson 1 to help us plot the points of these ordered pairs. Remember, when you're plotting points, you go to the right on the x-axis first, then up on the y-axis, since we're working in the first quadrant, quadrant 1. Okay, so the first order pair is 1, 2. And the second order pair is 2, 6. The third order pair for arrangement number 3 is 3, 10. And arrangement number 4, the order pair is 4, 14. And then for arrangement number 5, our order pair is 5, 18. Look at all the patterns that you see occurring there, and you can see in the pattern of where the points are plotted. The x coordinate is increasing by 1, and our y coordinate is increasing by 4. Think to yourself, what would be the next order pair that we would plot? Now you're going to try some on your own. Look at the 5 arrangements on the left. You're going to want to write the number of cubes in each arrangement, and then make an order pair for each of those arrangements. And then on your own paper, or you can go into Schoology and find the Try It there, you can graph those order pairs. Let's get a little more practice graphing order pairs. You have letter A on the left and letter B on the right. They each give you 11 ordered pairs and want you to graph them. Number 1 in each graph is done. Now it's time to let your teacher know what you've learned during this lesson. Make sure you check with them to see how you will be submitting your work. Miranda made a number pattern. She started with 4 and added 3 several times. Continue Miranda's pattern. 4, 7, 10. What comes next? Miranda made another number pattern. She started at 30 and subtracted 3 each time. Continue Miranda's new pattern. 30, 27, 24. What comes next? Compare Miranda's patterns. Write 2 observations about how your number patterns are alike and 2 observations about how her number patterns are different. You will want to use your notes from the previous slide to help you with this one. Miranda graphed one of her patterns on the coordinate grid below. Did Miranda graph her first or her second pattern? Label the order pairs that Miranda graphed. Then graph and label the order pairs in Miranda's other pattern. I'll see you next week for week 11 of Bridges Grade 5.